Everybody, this is Matt from Junk Droids, and happy holidays. It's time. Got some holo projectors for you. Eh, eh, eh. Yeah, it took a minute to get these where I wanted them, but I think I have them pretty much there now. I wanted to make sure that they moved easily, but not like flopping around too much, and then the other was to make it so it wasn't too tight either, and so everything fit in there just right. These are made to be used with these lights from Amazon. They fit right in there, no problem. I'll put the link up. You can also, if you don't like these lights, they're very bright, but I will say this, it's kind of nice because you can take the lenses off of them, and it's kind of like the perfect lens. So you could use this lens even with a different kind of light if you wanted to, like a little remote one, or you could with the AstroPixels too. These are going to have little adapters that I'm going to make for the AstroPixels holos. You'll just be able to snap those in here, and then you can you'll be able to snap them in there, and then plug them into the back of the current Holoprojectors. So everything will work together. All right, let's have a look and see how to put these in. All right, so here's your Holoprojector. When you get it, it's going to be in 3 parts: the top shell, the main part, and the bottom shell. And I wasn't sure if I was going to just put them all together for you, or if it was something that you should do or want to do. And I decided that it might be something that you would want to do, because a lot of people will probably want to paint these. So that'd be a lot easier to do when they're in pieces than when they're all together. But it's pretty easy to put together, so I know you can do it. You're gonna put the top shell over like that, and then the bottom, you'll see there's this little, one of these notches is a little bit fatter than the other ones, and it's also the one that's right by the arrow. So line that up with the fat one there, plug it all in together, and we're gonna be using that arrow for another thing when we install it too. So just hang on to that arrow in your mind. And then once you get them together, just put a little glue on each one of those little notches. Don't go crazy, because if it leaks through the seam, then you might have a Holoprojector doesn't move very well. So just be careful about that. And now let's take a look at how to put them in there. Okay, so obviously you're gonna take out the stock ones out of the holes, just unscrew them, and then of course we're gonna be putting in the new ones. Now this is where we're gonna have a look at that little arrow again that we talked about earlier. So there's a little bit of an edge that's a little bit more rounded than the other ones, and it doesn't really matter too much, but I use the way that I found that it works. The arrow, when you put it in this way, I put it on the right side. What you're gonna do is you're gonna line these up in there, and you're kind of gonna get the flat areas, and then you're gonna give it a little twist to you're gonna get that little lip behind the screw stalks, I guess. I don't know what you call them, screw parts, where the screws would normally go. And that's pretty much it. And they're pretty good in there. So I'm putting the screws back in. This one I put that in first, so that doesn't really have anything to do with it. But this front one has this one screw on the side, and I'm not going to tighten it too much. I'm not going to go crazy, but I'm going to get it pretty good in there, and that just gives it a little more strength, and it's not going to go anywhere. And then we're going to do the same thing with the back one. Just kind of twist it in there. Just make sure that little lip gets behind those screw areas. Put those 2 screws back in there. That thing's in there pretty good. It's not going anywhere. Now this guy at the bottom, well, it's the top actually, when you put the dome on, is a little bit different because it doesn't have anything to grab onto. So I'm going to give it a couple of these little clips to kind of hold it in place. This one also, of course, the hole is a little bit bigger than the other one, so there's another problem, but this is why it took me so long to do this. So you're just going to screw, the 2 clips will be fine. This is a terrible screw to try to get it anyway. And it would be a different kind of clip for the third one, but these 2, I haven't had any issue with it falling out or going anywhere. So once you get those in there, that's it. You can do whatever you're going to do as far as lights go. Now again, I'm using these lights from Amazon. I found they were very bright. I used like a frosted window spray on these, and that was still too bright, so I ended up just doing like a white spray paint over it, and that kind of toned it down enough for my liking. And these, you know, just gonna drop them in there. They fit nicely. They fit in there pretty snugly. But you might, you know, if they're not too tight, if they're not tight enough for you, you can always, you know, this one I used a little bit of sticky tack. You could also use a bit of glue or whatever too. And if you're asking about how I have it wired, I did do a video about how to wire into the power source for the holiday lights. If you want to go back and watch that, I did do that one for specifically for astropixels, but it's the same idea. Basically, instead of plugging in, you know, wiring in astropixels to the board on the astropixels board, you're just going to splice 3 red, black together, and then you have this, and then you just plug it in, and then you'll have some lights. All right, we're holoprojecting. We've got the move around, not too tight, not too loose. That was like the hardest part of probably doing these. And we got one back here, and the one back here. Beep boop bop boop beep. Right, Archie?